wins, the gimmicking wins. From beginning to end, no gimmick. If I rep it, dude, I live it then. And you can't do it, so ain't no need for mimicking. I'm not innocent, I'm on a mission, so let me finish it. Matter of time before they summon the army in. I'm probably on the FBI's most wanted list. I'm probably gonna end up hung like an ornament. I'm on a life mission to abolish all the government.
Look around and tell me what you see, because it's coming down, are you listening? Stop and look, this is what I mean. Yeah, it's going down, it's going down. Open your eyes, the state you're in is a state of mind. Freedom disguise, the state you're in is a state of mind.
What's up? What's up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Liberty Hour. We are back here once again. Third show back after a longer hiatus. We were off for about 7 months and came back a couple weeks ago with my friend Ricky, and then last week with his girlfriend Aaliyah, who had a great time with last week. Thank you for being on, Aaliyah Jade. And now I'm here this week, and boy, got a lot to talk about. A lot of things going on with the NCAA tournament, some stuff going on in the NBA, a lot of other things to talk about as well. Before I introduce my guest for this week's show, let me go ahead and I'm not going to run through everything with NCAA scores. I'm just going to kind of give you guys some of the biggest unexpected game results from the first round of the NCAA tournament. So yesterday, New Mexico State was a 12 seed heading in, almost upset Auburn, but Auburn managed to pull it out at the very end after a wide open missed three from New Mexico State. We've also got a lot of people were picking Belmont as the 11 seed to upset Maryland, but Maryland managed to pull it out by 2 after a terrible performance by Belmont in the second half. Murray State, the 12 seed, which is weird, 42% of brackets had them winning that game because of Marquette's injuries, and yes, they did win that game by 19. I was one of those brackets that had them winning that game, so I'm happy about that. What I'm not happy about is that Nevada lost. I had Nevada making the Elite Eight, and they lost to Florida by 9 yesterday. Such a shame after they looked like one of the hottest teams in college basketball after the first half of the year. Couldn't quite keep it up. Let's see what we've got here. We've got Wofford beat Seton Hall. I did not pick that one. That's not a huge surprise. Baylor beat out Syracuse, who Syracuse I had making the Sweet 16. Iowa beat Cincinnati. That hurt me as well because I had Cincinnati making the Sweet 16 and maybe even the Elite 8 actually. Oklahoma beat Ole Miss by 23, and I picked that one, so I was happy about that. Big upset is UC Irvine beat out Kansas State. Kansas State obviously been plagued with some injuries, and UC Irvine pulls off the upset. Did not predict that one, but big win by them. And we almost made history, folks. We almost made history. Toothpaste almost won a game in the NCAA tournament. Nah, but seriously, Colgate, the 15 seed liberal arts college out of Hamilton, New York, almost took down Tennessee, fell 7 points short today. And then we've also got Oregon, the 12 seed, took down Wisconsin by 18 points. That was, for some, a surprise. Not for me. I picked Oregon. I knew they were going to be a strong team heading in after going through the Pac-12. Buffalo beat Arizona State. Washington took down Utah State. Liberty, huge upset. Liberty took down Mississippi State. Liberty, the 12 seed, took down the 5 seed, meaning that there are only about 50 perfect brackets left, at least in ESPN brackets. And right now at halftime, Iona, the 16 seed, is beating North Carolina 38-33. That would totally bust my bracket, as I have UNC making it to the championship game. And that is the updates on the NCAA tournament, and I will get into some NBA scores later. But before I do that, let me go ahead and introduce my guest for today. We actually went out and played yesterday, played some golf, and he's a good friend of mine, Miles Coffey. How you doing, Miles?
Good. How you doing, Aaron?
Good, doing good. Like I said, we went out and played some golf yesterday at Wood Creek, and I actually, for not playing in 3 months, had a pretty darn good round going. And then, of course, the tail end of the course kind of kicked my ass a little bit. You know, when you drive the ball into trees, it's hard to make par, and unfortunately, a couple holes that happened with me. and just didn't quite work out. But anyways, I had a great time out, and we definitely need to go out and play some more. I actually wanted to start with this because you have a job over at Catavadera. You used to work outside, but now you're working in a banquet, and you said you're getting paid a lot more money. So tell me about how you're liking that experience so far with that transition over to banquet, and how much busier it is compared to what you had to do in the past.
Yeah, not being a cart boy anymore is kind of weird after working outside for almost 3 years, but nice change of pace. Get inside, work some weddings, work some lunches and breakfast, whatever's going on pretty much at Cata. Pretty much any banquets that run through there, I'm helping serve and stuff now. So make some better tips than I did outside. Little upgrade.
Now you said that obviously with that you do weddings. You said you're actually doing a wedding tomorrow, and you said that you have some pretty big events that go on in there. So tell me like the typical day, because it sounds like some days are obviously way busier than others. But explain to me, so like what are some of the busier experiences you've noticed so far with that job that you've had to work with, and what are some of like the deader days? What do you do in days where there aren't as much events planned? Like explain to me how that all works.
So pretty much we get scheduled to come in an hour before each event, and come in and there's a checklist of all the stuff we got to do to get the room ready for the event. Whatever we got to do, fill waters, vacuum, get whatever ready for whatever event's going to be going down. And then it's pretty much work the event, bus, serve, whatever it entails. And then afterwards, you got to set up the room or rooms, because we got multiple for the events that are going on the next day or next week, whatever's going on. But yeah, I mean, weddings are definitely the more busy events, because it's probably 8 to 9 hour shift on your feet. You got to get the wedding ceremony site ready. You got to get the inside ready. They do cocktail hour out on the terrace. You get the inside ready. And then when they come inside, you get outside ready again for when they're done eating dinner. And yeah, weddings are a whole nother beast, but the slower days are pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was another thing, because in relation to where I work at Top Golf, we have event ambassadors who set up. We have like a couple of signature rooms, and obviously all the bays out there for people to play, and they'll work events and stuff like that. But obviously, and I'm sure it's the same where you work at Cata, it's probably much busier, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, where you work. So my question for you is, during the week, like Mondays through Thursdays and stuff, how typically busy is it, and like what kind of events do you usually get on those days?
So this last week, I actually worked Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which is actually kind of abnormal, because my normal schedule is normally about Thursday through Monday or Thursday through Sunday. But the ones during the weeks are normally it's normally the group of, it's like normally an association of, I would say, older people during the weeks that do either lunches or breakfast in the morning. And then, the weekends kind of heat up with weddings and wine dinners and all sorts of different things.
How many people do you have typically working like on a shift? Like, I guess on like the busier days when you have like all like the banquets and the weddings and stuff like that, how many people does it take to get that enormous job done?
On weddings, I'd say there's probably anywhere between 6 to 8 of us working them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it sounds obviously like a ton of work, but it's good. I from what you told me yesterday, you make pretty good money. Obviously, transitioning out of that, Catavadera is one of the top courses in Northern California. But obviously, where we live, we're graced with a pretty good amount of courses around the area, which is nice, anywhere between Auburn and Sacramento. And I wanted to ask you, what are some of the, your favorite courses that you play around the area? I know you've been up to Apple Mountain a couple times. I've never been able to make it up there. Obviously, I'm sure you played almost all the courses around the area. What are some of your favorites and why?
I would definitely say Apple Mountain's up there, because it is one of the craziest courses I've ever seen, just elevation change wise. I mean, every tee box you're on, there's maybe 100 to 200 feet in elevation change up or down to the fairway. And it's all about placement. You can't really hit driver there. It's all about, you got to hit a shot 175 off the tee. And they have a little placard thing in the cart for you, telling you off each tee box how far you got to hit it to have what yardage in, to have this angle and whatever.
That's cool.
So I think that makes it a little more challenging and fun. I don't know, gets you thinking a little bit more. Um, I like that. But one of my other favorites, let me think. A lot of people don't like this course, but I actually do kind of find it fun because it's so challenging, is Whitney Oaks. Whitney Oaks is a bitch, but I do have quite a bit of fun playing it.
I've only ever played the first 10 holes there. I played the first 9, then I played the short par 4 10. That course kicked my ass because you're right. You have to place the ball in perfect spots. Plus, I wasn't even having that great of a day. When I was with one of my coworkers, we both had a pretty bad day. The one hole that stands out to me at Whitney Oaks, is that one dogleg right par 4 that has like a separate fairway 60 yards short right of the green, and like if you're a super long hitter you can actually try to drive it over there. But I mean that course definitely provides tons of challenges out there. Even the first hole, if you hit it too far right, you're screwed. You're almost OB. The second hole there, I know you have to get over the water in the bunker, and that's an interesting tee shot as well. It definitely presents quite a challenge. In terms of challenging courses around the area, I definitely think Morgan Creek is a big challenge as well. But personally, my favorite is the Ridge, and it's because whenever I played there in high school, that was always a course where I seemed to perform well at. And I don't know why, but even though it is a more difficult course, especially the greens, and I'll admit that, and most other people will as well, it just suits my eye. And I think it's because of the tee shots that they have there, and the opportunities that you are presented if you do, hit decent shots off the tee, and you can get some breaks there for sure. But it's a challenging course, but the short par 4s it has, plus some of the gettable par 5s make it a fun course along with challenges.
Yeah, I actually totally forgot about the Ridge. I've played there one time, and I really do enjoy that course. I actually played the front 9 at even par there, and then back 9 don't really want to talk about. But yeah, I do enjoy the Ridge. The Ridge is a very nice course.
Yeah, it's one of the more challenging ones. Obviously, some of the ones I've played the most are Diamond Oaks. I played there ever since I was a kid, and Lincoln Hills, where I played for high school. But yeah, definitely the Ridge has to be up there for me for sure.
Yeah.
Transition out of that, let me go ahead and give you guys some NBA scores here for the day. The Magic took down the Grizzlies 123 to 119. Magic still have a chance to get into the playoffs as they are the 9 seed, but are a game back of the Heat, who are 9 down against the Bucks right now, 75-66 with about 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Spurs are up over the Rockets with about 4.5 minutes left to go, 100-94. Big fight there for the 4, 5, 6, 7 spots in the Western Conference. Thunder took down the Raptors 116 to 109. Thunder, who were the 8 seed going into that game, still have a chance to bump all the way up to 5. The Clippers beat the Cavs 110 to 108. And the Nuggets took down the Knicks 111 to 93. Those are guys' NBA scores for the day. Transition out of that, I wanted to go ahead and talk about, because the Masters is coming up, and we're 2 weeks away from it. Yeah, about 2 weeks away from the Masters, which is one of my favorite tournaments of the year. I think it's most people's favorite tournaments of the year. Some of the odds that we have right now up are after the win by Dustin Johnson at the Mexico Championship. He is favored at 10 to 1 odds, and right behind him we have a 3-way tie with Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, and our guy Tiger Woods. And obviously Tiger has started off the year. He started with a tied for 10th finish. He's had a couple top 10 finishes, and then he played semi-poor at the Players. Could have probably done a little better there. Finished tied for 30th or 31st. And I wanted to get your thoughts here, Miles. First off, who do you believe will win the Masters and why?
Who do I believe will win, or who do I want to win?
Well, I think we both want Tiger, but who do you believe will win?
I think Rory could do it this year. He's been really showing some stuff in the tournaments he's played, and he said at the beginning of the year that he wanted to dedicate himself to the PGA Tour and really dominate, and he's been doing that. I think DJ could maybe make a run. I think he has to make some adjustments to his game. I think he's just a little too long for Augusta. I wouldn't say too long. I don't know that it fits his game very well.
Yeah. I
think it could fit Rory's pretty well if he can get it firing that week, and I'd love to see him finish off the career Grand Slam.
Yeah, that would be great. And I will get into some specifics. We'll be talking about Rory McIlroy. We'll be talking about Tiger Woods, talking about a whole heck of a lot more on the Liberty Hour. And actually, finally actually get back into some politics. I haven't talked about politics since we've been back. So I'll be right back from break here. We'll be right back with part 2 of the Liberty Hour. Stay tuned.